Hello. Hello.
Good evening,
Been a
everyone.
while.
Have you missed us?
It's been a while.
We've been very busy.
I don't know if this is shared to oh no, we're only sharing to this anyway, YouTube, aren't we? Of course we are. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay.
You've lost the plot. It's been so long.
Yeah, because it's on StreamYard. It said that it lost its connection to Facebook, and I just wanted to check. Okie dokie then. Right. Let's start top of the shop. It's Ellen. Yay. Have been going through withdrawal for a live. Thorax Gargoyle is here. Hiya. Jeanette's here. I just seen you recently. Hi, fellow Phoenix fans. Can't wait for the live. Well, it's here now. By the way, the Froome workshop was fab. It's really worth doing. Even after doing the challenges in one workshop already, do you know what happens? It becomes an addiction. I tell you, it becomes an addiction. You just won't be able to stop coming to the workshops. That's fabulous, Jeanette. Angie Medler's here. Hello, my darling. We've missed you, everyone. I know we've been so busy, and as you can tell from my throat, it's not because I'm poorly. It's just because I've been talking a lot. Ellen says, "Are the crowns in the chat panel going rogue? Are the crowns in the chat panel going rogue? I don't know what you're on about. I'm completely lost. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, laughing. Everyone is queen for a day or king. I don't know what you're on about. Must be something else. I can't see that. I can't see it on YouTube if that's what it is that's showing me. Camilla's here. Hi all. Hello, my lovely. Anne's here from Comox in Canada. Teresa's here. Hello, and Laura's here. Hi all. And people are just joining as we speak. Susan Shides here with her pink marigold hang. Well, it's been a while. We've been busy. This last weekend we were in Froome, which is near Bath.
Longley.
Tim shouts Bath. I go Bath. And Garry says Longley. It's near Longley.
It's not
Safari
far from
Park.
Yeah.
Near Longley Safari Park.
Longley House, yeah.
When near what Wiltshire, I think.
It's on the Wiltshire Somerset border, Lindsay.
There you go. I don't know where it is. Ellen says the YouTube chat panel. We all have crowns like we're number one. Oh, do you? It's cool. Hey, we've missed you, says Nina. Megan says, hi guys, nice to see you. It's nice to see you too. And here we are.
Nice to see you all too.
I don't know what we're going to talk about. I think we'll talk about the workshop. That's what
we're back.
We're going to talk.
What film was that? There was a film that was the cat. That was a catchphrase, wasn't it?
No, it
we're
was
back.
It's Arnie. I'm back.
No, that'll be I'll be back. No, there was another one. I'll look it up because I'm sure it's in a film.
Hello, Meta. So what did we do this weekend? Well, last Wednesday we flew to the UK, and then we had our workshop, our 3-day workshop with the new presentations. Ooh.
It was very exciting. She was being very secretive because nobody knew that it was happening. Not even me.
I didn't tell anyone that I changed the presentations. Not even Garry.
Which I think is absolutely not allowed. But I have to say they were very good indeed. It was well worth doing for sure.
I was so busy working on them, and I just didn't have time to explain them, and I just didn't want to talk about them, and I just thought, no, I'm just going to leave it as a surprise to everyone. So that was it. It was a big surprise. Asha didn't even know. No one knew until Asha just got the computer up. Then she's like looking at the screen, thinking,
"That don't look right."
I don't know, right? And she went, "Oh, Mum, just have to change this." And I went, No, that's it. That is it. That's what's going up on the screen. And her eyes were like, "What's going on?"
So, and I didn't even twig because you were asking for certain photos. Have you got this photo? Have you got that photo? And I thought, what the bloody hell's going on? And I didn't even think about it.
No, yes. I was asking for various photos, wasn't I? So we had a fantastic weekend, and gosh, we didn't finish on the Sunday till really late. And that's partly because we got behind a little bit because of the new presentations were just, full of stuff. And so we got a little bit behind. But most people stayed. There were a couple that had to leave a bit earlier, but most people stayed. And we had a fantastic dissection on the afternoon of the last day. We always have a great. Is it poltergeist?
That was good, wasn't it? That it was.
Did you see Jeanette said what Garry was it poltergeist?
Yes. Oh, it could have been.
Oh my God! Yes. Poltergeist. Oh my God! Poltergeist. That takes me back. So yes, we had a really great 3 days, and the dissection was good because on the last trimming day, which was a Sunday morning, we were going through feet that people had trimmed, and we were trying to explain in short what we ask our students to look for. So when our students go out trimming, they're not just looking at a foot to trim. They don't just go and pick up a foot and start trimming it. They look at a foot and they look at the way the foot is its vertical heights, and they look at ratios, and they look at all those sorts of things, so they can determine whether the foot that they're looking at has got rotation, osteonecrosis, or NPA. They can ascertain those kinds of things just by looking at the hoof capsule. So we picked up a couple actually, hoof capsules, which were a pair, and I was talking about them and demonstrating that they were, in fact, this hoof capsule had osteonecrosis. I know the hoof capsule had osteonecrosis because of various things. And in fact, we used one of them in the dissection on the little video clip that we put up on the page a couple of days ago. We put a little video clip. And on this hoof capsule, we said, look, I think there's osteonecrosis. So I said to Asha and Garry and the team, I went, right, go and cut that up for the dissection. I don't want to look inside. We've already ascertained that we don't know how much this horse has got that is osteonecrosis, but we know that it definitely has. And so they went and cut it up and they put it in the dissection, and of course it had osteonecrosis, very bad osteonecrosis. We cut one of them in half so you could see the sagittal section, and the other one we took the hoof capsule off, and we also removed the laminae and the dermis, so that all the dermis layer and the laminae, so that you could see what it was holding underneath, what was disguised underneath. And it wasn't a pretty sight. And you know what really saddens me is that these horses get into this mess because of a myth, a ghost, because everybody's chasing something that it isn't. Everybody's chasing a metabolic ghost of laminitis. And the reason these animals get like this is because of really misguided trimming, by trimming feet onto the wrong plane and not knowing you're going there. It's like, it's almost, I tell you what, it's almost a bit like, it's like going into a forest and taking the wrong path, and everything still looks the same, but you don't realize you're going down the wrong path. Because the foot still looks like it's a foot. You can still see a frog. There's still bars there. There's still a sole. But the actual the amount of compaction begins in the sole. You don't notice it because the bars are still there. There still looks like sole, but there's loads of compaction. You don't notice that you're removing too much at the front and leaving too much at the back and causing the horse to be completely imbalanced. You don't realize it because it all looks the same. and you're looking for that hoof pastern axis. That hoof pastern axis is nice and in line, so you don't notice it. The heels are going up, but still you look at the hoof capsule and it still looks fine from the outside, you think. So you're being taken down a path that looks the same, but actually isn't. That path that you've now taken into the forest is the wrong one. It looks the same, all the trees look the same, but you've taken the wrong path, i.e. you've created the wrong hoof care, or you're going down the wrong path of the wrong hoof care. And it's easy to do. It's easy to do when you don't look at critical measurements, when you don't look at the foot as a whole, when you don't look at angles that are like the coronary band angle, which is really important, and when you are not looking at ratios as well. Now, these are the things that we've brought into teaching our students, and I'm not going to go into great detail with them now, but we talk about, this is a sort of thing that I've added into the presentations, because when we started the school, there's a kind of part of you that thinks to yourself, well, we're just going to easily be able to teach everybody to have our eyeballs. But that doesn't happen, sadly. You can't do that. You sort of can get away with it by explaining and doing tutorials with students and saying, yeah, you've got to take this off and that off. But then the inevitable questions come, like, I don't know where compaction is. I can't read compaction. I don't know where it is. How do I know if that horse has got osteonecrosis, etc.? So we had to find ways of teaching students and pros how to have our eyes. And so that's one of the things that we do. So therefore I can pick up a foot and I can see pretty much what's going on quite easily. I can see that. Jeanette says Asha's dissection was amazing. So Asha did I do less and less these days. I just need to do a lot of this. Asha did some fabulous dissection. In fact, I can actually show you Asha doing the dissection. I can show you those pictures. If I've got a couple of those. If I open those up. Okay, let me just share that screen. Oh, it's all changing on share screen. Allow, window, boom, boom. Can you see that? Oh, it's not shared. Oh, yes, it has.
No, it's coming. It's coming.
Well, that took a while, didn't it? Here we go. So this is Asha sat there in her cowboy hat. This is Asha doing a tremendous job dissecting this leg. So this foot had been shod. This had been trimmed, and then Asha was just dissecting the lower limb so that we could all talk about what's going on in there. So if you don't like gory things, you should look away. And one of the things that we talk about when we're doing dissections is that we are talking about all of the tissues that run down the back and all of the tissues that run down the front. This is just the leg. We do the feet. We cut up capsules. We've been doing it. We've got a little method now that we've been doing for years. Garry and Ash. Now Asha gets this prepared for me. I then get cracking on talking about the dissection, and while I'm doing that, Garry and Asha and the pros disappear and go and cut things up and chop things up. It's like Blue Peter. If you've ever know, if you're British, you'll know what we mean. Blue Peter is, and here's one I did earlier. And so we do that, and we keep this conveyor belt going, showing all of these different things. And every workshop, the dissection is slightly different because the anatomy is the same, but with the pathologies we see are different. So this was Ash doing that. So that was Asha doing her dissection. Deanna Hunter's here. Hello. Blossom Rock Ranch. Finally, I made it to a live. Yes. Sandra's here. Hello. I gather you had a very nice afternoon chatting to Garry today.
Hello, lovely. We got a lot sorted, didn't we?
Good. Ellen says, press the like button, please. It was a thumbs up or whatever it is. Press the like button. Subscribe.
Like, subscribe, and whatever else they tell you to do.
I don't know. You've got to click some kind of notification bell or something. Pia says, hello. Oh my, I've been waiting for this. I know. I'm so sorry. We are going to get back on stream. It's just that I feel that since I got back from the States, everything's been going slowly. Not been able to get on.
Lots to catch up on.
Lots to catch up on. Blossom says, give me your eyeballs. I'm sure many people would say that. Melanie's here. Hello, everyone.
I have to say, though,
happy live day.
You would only want her technical eyeballs because our actual eyeballs without glasses are absolutely useless. So, Lindsay, would you just show people how you look at your phone when you're on the sofa?
I'm sure I'm not the only one who does this.
Because otherwise she can't see it. But then to get up off the sofa, she's got to have her glasses back on, otherwise she falls over everything.
I do. I'm a bit blind.
I have to say, I am a bit like that too, but I just take my glasses off. I can't see anything here or there. It's just all blurred.
I'm blind. So Sarah says, hi guys.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello. Pia says, you are my comfort zone. Red is sound. Thanks to Garry.
Well done, Pia. All I did was help. All I did was help and guide.
You did it.
You did the work. Well done.
Kel Pacavio. Hi from Finland. Tula. Oh, hi, Tula.
Hi, Tula.
Good to see you. Yeah, Finland. Yeah. Marianne says, hello. Hello, Marianne.
Hi, Marianne.
That was fun, wasn't it? You were there. You enjoyed it.
She was front and center at that dissection, wasn't she?
She was.
She loved it.
Loved it. Blossom says, it's Ali Jean. Oh, hi, Ali Jean. Hi. Now I know who you are. You see, you all have these different names. I don't know who you are. Okay.
It's the same on Facebook, isn't it? I think there's people out there that have a different name on Facebook, a different name on YouTube, then a different name on their contacts. And no wonder I can't remember who anybody is. It's ridiculous.
Garry, do you think you can find... Do you think you can find the video where you're taking off the sole?
Do you want? Yes, I've got it. Yeah, I've already found it.
Okay. Would everybody? Now I warn you, you are about to see inside. You are about to see inside of the horse's hoof. Okay.
So if you're a bit squeamish and blood and gore and all of that, look away.
I can't say look away without thinking of Bridesmaids. You know. Every Bridesmaids person that's watched Bridesmaids, you know what I mean when I'm saying, look away. Anyway, it's one of my favorite films. Okay.
Hold on a minute. I've got to find, how do I blink in? Oh, it's all changed. How can I?
It's all changed. Okay. So while he's doing that, let me explain. So,
yeah.
So it's
bear with. It's
the bottom of the horse's foot. It's the sole, right? And we're taking off the hoof capsule. We take off the sole, and there's no mean feat, right? It's very difficult, even with separation. The foot we're going to show you, even though it was so damaged, I can tell you it doesn't easily fall apart. And I think people think that because they think P3 is dropping through the foot and it's rotating. Doesn't do any of those things. Those things never happen. It is fixed, and it's fixed by not just the laminae. The laminae was something that everybody focused on, and because those were the things that the laminae were the tissues they could see the damage in. But it wasn't just the laminae. All the tissues get damaged. All the tissues get hurt, and the foot becomes pathological all through incorrect trimming. It isn't because of diet, isn't about any of those things. And once upon a time, we used to think that too. I mean, we always knew that the position of P3 was nothing to do with diet, but latterly, through all the research that we've been doing and everything that we've found, it's clear, very, very clear, that people just aren't critically assessing these hoof capsules. And so they are going down the wrong path in the woods, in the forest. So we take these hoof capsules and I don't anymore. Used to. I don't take them. That's Garry and Asha and the students that do all that hard work now. You can leave a hoof capsule out in the sun and let it rot. That's the easiest way to do that. But we can't do that when we're on workshops because we need to get it done fast. So there's a way you have to do it, and you literally have to chop right through the white line, and then you have to chop through the bars, and then you can peel everything off. So what the video he's going to show you, hopefully.
Do you want to see how it starts? Because I've got them all.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I say how it starts. It's how you actually get it all off. So let me go from pretty much the start.
Doing these kind of dissections and this kind of anatomy and going through it and looking where the sole is and looking where the frog is in relation to P3. It never changes. It never changes. These are inextricably linked. Doing these, and remember, this year we've gone through, oh gosh, over 1,000 cadaver hooves this year. And at every single workshop, we do this dissection. We do the lower limb, and then we go through the feet that we find, and we choose some feet that are interesting, horrible, pathological usually. And we choose these feet and we do that. And we do all different things with them. So people read, and then, I mean, everybody just gathers round, and it goes on for a couple of hours, of dissection. It's really fun. I say fun. It's awful, really, when you think, but it's a really great way of ending the workshop because people get to really understand what it is that we're talking about. But when you take the sole off the bottom of the horse's foot, there are loads of little finger-like projections, which are called papillae, and they sit in their sockets in the sole, and it's around them that all the keratinocytes create the horn tubules, because that's what everything is made from, the horn. A sole just as much as it is the hoof wall. And so when you peel off the sole off its dermis, the hard part of the sole, which is the outer epidermis, that's the bit that doesn't have any blood or nerves in it, but it's not dead. You should never think of it as dead because it's always there helping the feedback. You peel it off and you can hear these little papillae coming out of their pockets. It's crazy.
I'm hoping you can hear it.
You probably won't be able to hear it.
I'm hoping that you might be able to.
I don't think you will, but you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
And when we put it on Facebook, which we'll do in the next couple of days, we'll put it up with sound. You could hear it as well. Let's rock. Marion says the dissections are amazing, and yes, loved it all. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, have you found out where your share is? Have you found your share button?
I'm all organised. I gave you thumbs up about 10 minutes ago, but you didn't see me. No. That's all right. You're good at infilling.
I am. Okay, here we go.
So before it was trimmed, it would have looked a bit like that.
All right.
But this is the other one. We'll come back to this one, I think. We'll come back to this one. But this is the other front. So this is the other one. So this is how it looked before it was trimmed. And obviously the shoe has just been taken off. Okay.
Yes, this foot was shod, incidentally, these feet.
Yeah. These feet were shod. So this is basically just the shoe removed. That's it.
And this is a foot that's been on the wrong plane. Standing on the wrong plane, and they didn't know they were causing it, and they were blaming it all on metabolism.
Yes, and I suppose we can have a look at this. So this is basically how the front feet looked when we took the shoes off. Just ignore the cut that's a little bit wonky down the front, because it's not easy to cut straight when you're in a rush.
So looking at that, do you want to explain it, Garry?
Yeah, sure.
Within reason.
So look at the coronet band. It's really quite high at the back. So we've got a bit of a slope, but not as much as it should be. And also, there's very little here. So this is what we would call vertical toe. There's not enough there. This gives us the indication that in relation to the back of the foot, there's not enough depth. It takes a bit of training of your eye to be able to see it, and like Lindsay was saying before, we found ways of being able to teach with data and measurements, but we're not trimming to measurements. That's certainly not what's happening here. This is to help people to understand the shape of the foot, because Mother Nature wasn't random. I have to say, human nature is random, because humans get it wrong constantly. When you see the amount of feet that we've got through on the last day, in actual fact, I think I've got that. There you go. This is the feet that we got through on the last day.
That's just one day.
This is one day out of the 3.
Those were that's shod day. So that's
shod day, yes. And these bins were full up when we were driving in. So we see a lot of feet, and we can learn so much from cadavers, can't we? And I have to say, whether it be barefoot feet or shod feet, it does give you a true representation of what is going on out there in the equine world. I know the horses are no longer with us, and it is sad. It is very sad, but I don't think that there was one. There may be 2 or 3, if I remember rightly. There was 2 or 3 out of all of those bins, and we had 105 legs that I actually put back in the bins because there was very little to do with regards to the feet, and they were okay. So you extrapolate that back out into the equine world, and whether these feet are either trimmed correctly or out of balance. It really is shocking. Is it any wonder that people have got used to this as being normal?
Right.
That is just shocking, isn't it? But you can totally understand why people think that this is normal. You can totally understand it.
Right. And all of those horses with shoes on, people go, well, some horses just need shoes. No, that's not true. These horses that have shoes on, all of them had imbalances. All of them had problems. And if you'd have taken the shoes off, they would have been sore, but not sore because they just couldn't cope without shoes. This is not a normal, natural foot with all the right natural parameters in a shoe. This is a feet, not natural. They are not anywhere near the natural parameters. Therefore, if the shoe was taken off, these horses would suffer, and with the shoes on, many of them suffer. So it's a misguided. People have been guided down the road to think that all hooves are the same, basically, or that it's a hoof is treat a hoof as an individual, and all hooves are the same, and then just some horses have to be shod. These hooves are not the same. We took measurements of all of them. Our lovely people on our workshop, our lovely owners that turned up, measured them, and we wrote them all down. And I have a board, which I can show you in a moment. And we had a board with all the measurements on, and every single one of them was out of their natural parameters. Everyone. In fact, we didn't do the measurements on the shod ones. We did the measurements on the barefoot ones.
We did.
And the shod ones are always worse. Always worse. So what we've got to start trying to think and trying to get into our heads is that is that all these horses, they're all trimmed by lots of different people. They're all shod by lots of different people. They're all dealt with by different people, by different vets, by different professionals. At no point are any of the feet that you're looking at there within their natural parameters. None of them. Which means they're all suffering, all of them. Hence the reason why you think shoes fix things. They don't. They don't. And you've got to look at the trim that's underneath the shoe as well. So they don't. Anyway, I digress. Move along.
Okay, I'm going to move along. Okay, so
show the group. Show how big the group was. Let's have a quick picture.
Oh, should we have a picture of you doing a pose?
Or the they're more moving all at once.
They were.
Have you got them? Have you got everybody moving?
Oh, hold on a minute. So this is a little bit of a game we play. I think it's this one. And I'm hoping you can hear it.
You can't hear it. You can't hear it. Here they go. Whee!
Piccadilly Circus.
So we play a little game.
I just noticed. You see these two down here? They're lazy. They just swapped.
Did they?
They did. I've only just noticed.
Was that Chloe and that was Chloe and Sarah, wasn't it?
I think it might have been.
Sat down there. I didn't notice that.
Oh my God. There's me just thinking about jumping. Okay, so
back to the foot.
What we ended up having to do with this foot, now it's not the foot that's cut in half. This one's been
but they were a pair.
Butchered somewhat, but yes, they were definitely a pair.
Show go on, that's fine.
So, and this one was trimmed by one of the students, one of the attendees, and not like that. Then I butchered it so I can take it apart.
And you have to do this. You can't just get these soles and walls off.
No,
this foot was really damaged, really, really damaged. It had separation. It had horrible osteonecrosis. It was really damaged, and yet you still could not get it apart. It was truly fixed inside its capsule.
Absolutely. So basically, you have to chop the heels off at the back to be able to get the outer hoof wall off, and you have to strip back the outer edge of the hoof wall just until you get to where the lamina ends and the white line begins, and the sole. So that joint where everything meets. But then after that, it's non-vascular. It just keeps growing, just like your nail grows out. But you have to get into this bit here to be able to take it apart, to see what's going on inside. It's the same one. So this is how it looks from the side. So basically, we just nippered all of this off.
And you absolutely can't get feet apart unless you do this.
No, they won't fall apart at all.
You can boil them, but then we don't want the tissues to be cooked. And you can leave them in the sun to rot, but of course we haven't got the time to do that. So in order to get hoof capsules apart, it's a skill because it's difficult.
It is, and it takes many hands.
It does.
At least 4. One holding the foot and one pulling it all off.
And yet you've got to remember this is a very damaged foot inside.
This is a very damaged foot. So this is exactly why this horse met its demise. Absolutely, without fail. Without fail. So that's a look from the front. I overdid it with the photos, so bear with me. What should I do here? I don't know. We'll just watch, shall we? I have no idea what I'm saying, so I'm going to mute it.
You can't hear it anyway.
So there's the hoof capsule coming off. Now, on this side, the lamina has been removed.
Can you move your box? When you go onto there, you need to move the box. We'll look at a picture of this in a moment.
Yeah.
That coronary band, we've taken that off. There you go. He's just putting that back. On this side, we've still got laminae.
Yep.
Okay. That's the dermal laminae. That's the laminae that's the inside. That's the soft tissue with all the blood and the connective tissue and the nerves, etc. I think if you grab that box, you can probably move it up.
It won't let me.
I won't it.
No.
Okay.
So I'll just keep off of it. I'll keep out the way.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know what I did there.
That's just short. So that picture there, we're going to show you some more images in a moment, but that is where Garry and Asha actually had removed. They'd begun to remove the laminae around that area, and of course, remember, we haven't got a lot of time to do this, but in the time that we do have, while I'm chatting away talking about the lower limb, they're out there doing these kinds of things. Now, that foot itself is in dire straits. That's not a complete P3. That P3 has been lost. It's got a ski tip. It's very fragile on its edge, and it's lost at least a third of the bottom of P3 towards its tip.
And also, when you look at an X-ray, particularly when it's a mediolateral X-ray, you tend to only see the side view, and you can see around the outside of this. It's really quite gnarly. It hasn't only degenerated at the front of the foot; it is degenerated in different spaces all the way around. So different X-rays give you different information, but this is really going. And obviously, when you're trying to help a horse fix a horse, you can't do this to look inside. We only have X-rays to be able to do this, really. And yeah, you can see that P3 should be fairly even all the way around, and it actually looks like, in actual fact, that I've nippered the bone when I was taking the hoof wall off, but I can assure you that I did not.
No, he definitely didn't.
I definitely did not. Okay, so that's just a very similar view. Here you can just see that where the lamina has been scraped off, and this is where the lamina is. And we've done similar onto the sole. We've taken half of the sole corium away, which we'll show you in a minute. And obviously this is still on the sole at the moment. But the sole has been removed. It's just being stuck there for photo purposes.
So you can see that gap that's underneath the bone, and that's it. If you put your green arrow in there, there's a gap there because you scraped away the dermis underneath as well. Yeah. So it sits on that little cushion of a dermis, but
this little bit here is actually sole corium or dermis,
underneath, which just seamlessly connects to the dermal laminae, and this is obviously incredibly vascular. And one of the things I find fascinating, and it is truly fascinating, and only when you do things like this can you see this, is that as that bone is degenerating and it is losing bone because it's in a hyperpositive position, it is being pushed down onto its tip. We know that it's osteonecrosis. We know now what's going on, even though there's really not been any research on it, which is shocking. But what I find fascinating is that the foot still tries to adapt. It still has its solar corium, which obviously is all shrinking away at the toe. and it still has its laminae, which obviously is all shrinking away, but it's still connected. This is going on inside that curtain. If you imagine it as being a little curtain, a little velvet envelope that it's sat inside, all of this is happening within that velvet envelope, and all of that is shrinking and modifying and changing, but still trying to be what it still needs to be in order to produce sole horn and in order to produce wall horn. The whole capsule just shrinks. It just shrinks, and it's so sad. I mean, it isn't shrinking. That is what's happened over time, but it's been cut that way. They just don't realize they're putting the horse onto a plane. This is all man-made. This horse suffered and had osteonecrosis because they put the horse's balance on the wrong plane, and the capsule itself began to diverge, and that's what causes the problem. And we're so much more clearer on that now from all of the things that we've done and the dissections that we've done. Yeah, so that's the outside again, and that's I've got some I've got a couple of really
this
good
one's a bit
photos.
clearer.
Yeah.
So you can see where this is all gnarly and getting thin. And in actual fact, from when you see it from underneath, you can see that really how much that it has degraded. The P3 has degraded.
Go back a bit. And I don't know if you've got any more photos of this. I think we have. But that coronary band there, Asha dissected that away. So that tissue. And you can see some white underneath that. That's part of the lateral cartilage that comes all the way down and fixes at that's it, and fixes all around there onto the back end of P3, which are the Palmer processes. And that in itself has its own laminae and is attached to the digital, the coronary cushion, the coronary band. So this is, I think people think that the laminae is just on P3 because everybody's been so focused to P3 and the laminae. It isn't. The P3 is well held in. It's well held into that capsule, really well held in by the lateral cartilages. It's got tendons, there's ligaments there. Everything is holding that into where it needs to be. It is the outer capsule that is being trimmed incorrectly, which is causing this tension and torque and destruction within the hoof capsule. And it's all over the hoof capsule. It's not just the bone. That's the thing that you can see on an x-ray, but it's the soft tissues as well. Yeah.
And like you said earlier, when we get it wrong, when humans get it wrong, the horse is always trying to rectify that error come hell or high water. They're always trying to rebalance. Always.
Sarah says this is so important for everyone to see, especially those who haven't been fortunate enough to attend a workshop dissection with HM. Seeing this, are they ever going to let anyone remove a toe again? No.
Well, we hope not. We hope not.
Yeah. Pia says, people think capsule is empty. I'm going to share this. You do that, my lovely. Everybody can share it. You can just take the link from the YouTube video and you can share it on your Facebook page. Okay, here we go. This is the bit that we were going to show you.
So this is obviously before the sole was removed. You can see that there's not really a gap here and here. When I took the hoof capsule off, this bit of the lamina stayed connected to the outside.
And we've got a picture of that.
I've got a picture of that as well somewhere. I'll find it in a second.
And what Gary's about to do is pull the sole off, but he actually grabs a little bit of the dermis underneath the bone, so you can see the edge of the bone, and then the dermis, the solar dermis, flops back on to the bottom of P3, and then the whole sole comes off. So if you're squeamish, I'd look away. But there's no blood spurting out anywhere. But this sort of thing is important.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see, and unfortunately you won't hear it, but it comes with the sound.
I'll put it on Facebook and then you'll hear it.
Okay.
Okay, so he's just about, now you see it'll just, right, now that was the dermis. Now look, that's the sole coming off. And when we put it on Facebook, I'll make sure it's really slow. So the black is pigment, and that you can see the bar area there on the sole. So just again, that just, oh, that flopped. And then he's got a really hard, he's pulling all of those papillae out of their sockets of the sole, and that's what's underneath. So just, and I mean, it's not difficult. You only have
to look. It's a marvel,
to look,
isn't it? It's a marvel.
It is a marvel, and you only have to do this once to see how the sole, the frog and P3 are inextricably linked, and therefore that just blows rotation and sinking out of the water completely, because if P3 rotated independently in the capsule, it would have to rotate independently of the frog, because obviously the frog is stuck in its sole. It can't move. So the fact that you can see that now shows that. So this is them taking the wall off. Again, not easy.
No. This is why the video actually takes 35 seconds instead of about 10. And I'm not even sure I do it in one go. But the thing that I'm showing here is how well connected that lamina is, and also when you get right in there, you will see that the horn papillae around the coronet band that are just popping out of their sockets.
You can see the walls bending. This is really, they're really struggling.
This is hard.
So you can see the coronary band papillae trying to keep it. They'll be arguing with each other now. They'll be saying, "Keep it still."
We will.
There you go. There you go. There, they're popping out. Here it comes. Now, this is a very damaged hoof capsule.
Very damaged.
And this is how much effort it's taking them to get it off. That was incredibly damaged. You see, they didn't even get it off in 35 seconds. You got it. I think you went 2 inches.
Hold on, I got another bit so you can see it. So basically, I ripped. We go from side to side because you can't rip it off at the front, because it's so well connected around. It's fitted. It's almost like a spring that it grabs hold. So you have to do one side. That's why you
know how flexible the actual wall is as well. Yeah, and when you and at the back, and if you try and peel it off and you let go, it just pings back. It just pings back.
So bearing in mind that this foot has been out of balance, so for want of a better word, diverged, rotated, is P3 suspended by the lamina? I'm just going to put it out there.
No, it's just the, okay, that's the papillae.
So the papillae are just pop in there.
Pulling these apart is crazy. See how
really
hard it is. And he's cut all that connection between the sole off.
Yep. Yeah. I had the good bit. I was doing the filming. Yeah, so I think that's it for that one.
Okay. Right, let me just put, we haven't got long, so let me just put this picture up, Garry. This is a really nice picture which I think Alicia took. So let's just have a look at this.
Get rid of me.
Alicia had a really clear picture of when you'd taken the capsule off. Before you continued to take more laminae off, she just had a picture of what it looked like the second you got the capsule off. Oh, I've lost you. Where the hell are you? There you are. Share. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the sole. So this is where Garry had his nippers, look. And you can see if I blow this up, can you see all these little holes? Tiny little holes. You see them, they're everywhere. They're around where the frog is, everywhere. This is the outer part of the whole capsule. This is the sole part. This is the epidermis. It might be red, but it doesn't have any direct blood supply or direct nerve supply. This is all horn. This is all epidermis. And all of these sockets held a little papillae. And then when we go over here, if you get the photo done very quickly, which they did, which is fantastic, you can actually see all the little papillae before they fall down, and they just fall flat along the actual sole. But they got such a great photograph. You can actually see all of those papillae. The frog has the papillae, and you can see this is incredible. This is Mother Nature changing, morphing. She's a change shaper, shape changer. I don't know which way I should have said that. Shape changer, I think. Change shaper. Because these little things here, these little papillae are turning from sole papillae into frog papillae. Look at them. You can't even tell. Just the pigment looks different. They don't look quite as vascular. I can assure you that there is blood running around these little papillae. And these little striations you see at the back here, that's the bar laminae, because the hoof wall runs around and finishes here. So it's just like the sole, doesn't it? It looks incredible. It looks just like the sole, but it's not hard sole. This is what creates the sole underneath. So you can see that everything is fixed. There is no, this frog is not separate to this frog corium dermis is not separate to the sole dermis. It's all together. And you can just see poking up there, these are the papillae that are in the coronary band, and then in between that are the laminae, but you can't quite see that. Okay, but look at this. This was the picture that Alicia took. When Garry pulled the capsule off, he took a chunk of that off with it. This is the dermal laminae. You can see all those papillae in the coronary band, in the coronary groove, and then all of these laminae. Now I can tell you they're stretched. They've had problems. They are not well, but they don't just it doesn't just swim around in there. This has not gone anywhere. This hasn't sunk through the capsule. It's still attached through to the coronary band. The coronary band is getting stretched inside the capsule. But just look at this. Can you still see it, Garry?
Yeah, it's good. That's a brilliant picture.
This is the edge. This is the edge. You can even still see blood vessels coming out. These are blood vessels here. And you can see that they've been pulled out of their little holes. This is actually, that is part as well. Part of the, just this vessel that's running around here is the part of the circumflex artery. And you can see these vessels, they come out of these holes, and they connect, they come down like a waterfall, and they connect along here, and then they're sent underneath. But this bone here, this is lost a tremendous amount of bone. It's curling up. You can see it starting to curl. This is a foot in this is P3 in osteonecrosis, in full-blown osteonecrosis, which is happening inside all of the glove of the laminae and the dermis. That's all blood vessels in there, and all of this is being degenerated as a chemical process that happens with when bone begins to lyse and degenerate, all because it's being starved of its blood supply. P3 should be way, way longer than that down here. and it's all curling up. And when you look at a side shot of a photo of this foot, if you'd have taken an X-ray, a lateral medial X-ray, you'd have seen this curling up, and that is what you would see as a ski tip. Now, some of it's come off here at the front because it's fragile, but this is still connected, and the ski tip isn't just at the front, it curls all the way around the foot. That is an incredible photograph, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
It really is.
It's
all
great
those little blood vessels.
It's great to be able to see it as soon as everything is removed.
Yeah, but look at that. With that, these two vessels you can see just coming out of their holes, and another one here. And then these holes, as P3 degenerates more and more, it goes back and back and back, and these holes get breached, and then the vessels themselves die off. This is a hole that's been breached here. There's one that's been breached here, and there would have been holes below this. And that's the shocking horror, not of laminitis, but of horrible foot imbalance. P3 wasn't going anywhere. It was just put in the wrong plane. Crazy.
I've got one more really good image, and it's of it's showing that how much of the bone had degenerated, and showing that what was left of the actual palmar process area at the side of the pedal bone, and how the front of the pedal bone has degenerated back. So let me share that a minute. And it really does highlight how much we really need to concentrate on balance. So what you've got here. So
look at this.
You've got
a little bit, Garry.
So what you've got here, and we saw from the side that this is all gnarly and this is degenerated, but this is perhaps in a better position. But then this bone here that should carry on and carry on and carry on is bending back up. So it's affecting the way that the sole grows. It's affecting everything that is in the foot.
You can't see it until you either X-ray it to go through the tissues, or you do this, and it's because it's been positioned onto that area that's flattened out now. There you see that's turning up, that's flattened. The complete depth of P3 has been lost. Therefore, the depth of the capsule has been lost. That's why we could tell there was osteonecrosis. And that's actually walking around on that flat bit.
This little bit here,
right up with the heels right up in the air.
Yeah.
It's a really sad situation that hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of horses are going through all the time, to varying degrees.
Yeah.
Because toes are removed and heels are left high. And then the tearing begins. It's got nothing to do with diet. Diet doesn't do this.
Nope. Imbalance does this.
Horrible imbalance.
Horrible imbalance.
Marion says, natural, amazing, beautiful structures. So sad to see them so compromised by humans. It's true. Pia says, I want to cry. People think one can cut off whatever because of whatever. It's living tissue. Shapeshifter. Thank you.
Yes, I got that. We got it at the same time, Blossom.
Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Jeanette says amazing images. Viv says it's brilliant, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and Pia says, and my red has bone loss, and that's what's going on. That's what's going on when we see these X-rays. And there are horses out there we see they've lost even more than that, way more than that, and people are still sadly trying to fix them, and you can't fix them. You can You can lower the heels, but you'll never, ever get that wonderful angle on the coronary band because you've lost all that depth at the front. You can lower the heels and try and give them some relief. And some people then put bits of foot on the front, but you can't. It's never going to work. You can't. These horses are crippled. They have been crippled. It's like a horrible accident gone wrong over many years, all caused by, it's like a slow motion crash that has been going on for months and months and years and years, crashing into the ground like a slow motion crash where they've been just buggering about with the balance. Kathy Yorkshire says hello, by the way, all those feet makes me so sad. Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Absolutely. Megan says, wow, fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Clever Mother Nature. It's incredible, isn't it? Show this to the vets. Yeah. They don't see it. They don't see it. Share to effing everyone. Lindsay, I've sent you a message about hooves. If you get a minute in your crazy schedule, I will look. I did see that you've messaged me. I will check. All right, guys, we're going to go. We've been on an hour. Thank you, Garry, for sharing your images. That was great.
No problem. Pleasure.
And it's great for me because I get to see what these guys are doing in the background while I'm busy going. They're like pulling things apart.
It is a bit gory, but when you end up, and it's really weird, isn't it? Because you go through the bins of the legs on pretty much every workshop, and nowhere in the world disappoints on showing us stuff like that. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to do a workshop one day when it is just about looking after healthy feet? Isn't that what we're all striving for here?
And I think, and I think so many people, when they come to the workshops, one of the things that they say is it's crazy because it's so easy to keep these horses' feet balanced. Well, it's easy if you follow what Mother Nature is showing you, and you don't let the foot become compacted, you don't let the heels become compacted, you don't take away sole, you don't try being the shapeshifter. Humans try and be the shapeshifter, it all goes wrong. Let Mother Nature do all of that. She's very, very good at it. We would never be able to. I mean, it's incredible the things you see. And then when you start to take that curtain of laminae back and look inside what's happening to the bone, I mean, that's just stupendous. Nobody could ever create something like that, and we're buggering about with it all the time. Absolutely incredible. Amazing live. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you. Stay well, everyone. You're very welcome. Thank you both so much.
If that one horse gets out on YouTube and gets a couple of million views for people that have equines, and it saves 1,000, oh my God, that was well worth doing. Thank you to that horse. Thank you to that poor horse that suffered.
He had both
front feet.
And they were shoeing it to try and hide that.
Yeah.
Manic. All right, everyone.
Take care. See you soon.
Us. We'll see you again soon. All the best. Bye.
Take care.
I hope you enjoyed it. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.